Welcome back to the DaBoot Tragedies. The New Orleans Saints play the Pittsburgh Steelers this upcoming Sunday. Both teams have been horrific this year, pretty bad, and basically a loss for both teams ends their seasons. Steelers, their season's probably over. The Saints season would be over if this NFC South wasn't so pathetic. So still have a chance, without New Orleans Saints. The Steelers come in at 2-6. Coming off a bye week, the Saints come in at 3-6, coming off a loss to the Ravens on Monday Night Football. So kind of a short week there, not really. And it's a very important game for the Saints, honestly. The Steelers, not so much of them. They're 2-6, like I said. If they win or lose this game, it really won't affect their season as much. We'll just start talking about the Saints defense, or what the Saints defense will be facing against the Steelers. They got Najee Harris, came onto the scene as a pretty good rookie running back last year. This year, been pretty awful. Let's just be honest. He's been pretty awful this year. It's only averaging 3.3 yards per carry on 108 attempts, 1 touchdown, 45 yards a game. It's been some rumblings out of Steelers camp that he may get benched for this game for Jaylen Warren, who has 29 carries this year for 153 yards, averaging over 5 yards a carry. If that happens, that's definitely going to be a change of pace for the Steelers, and something the Saints should be, looking out for. Also, they're starting a rookie quarterback. They started Mitch Trubisky early in the year. Wasn't really getting the job done. He was 78 for 128, 60% completion percentage, 797 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, sacked 9 times. That's just not going to get it done. And they inserted Kenny Pickett, who's been absolutely horrific, awful, one of the worst rookie quarterbacks I've seen in a while. That's how bad he's been. He's 112 completions for 165, so he's completing 68% of his passes, which seems good, but 960 yards, 2 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 12 sacks. Been very, very bad for him. Hopefully the Saints can continue this trend, how bad he's been playing. I know it's not all his fault. The team is pretty bad and things like that, but he has not been a good quarterback for them this season. Between the two quarterbacks and the team combined, they've given up 21 sacks this year in 8 games. So they're giving up, over 2 sacks a game. So that's definitely going to, be beneficial for the Saints. For the pass rushers on our team, we're going to have to get after the quarterback. Offensive line has struggled for them in run blocking and pass blocking. So definitely expecting a big game from our defensive line. If we can't do it against them, we won't be able to do it against anyone in the NFL. Let's just be honest. Their main target is going to be Deontay Johnson, one of the top receivers in the league. He's had 76 targets this year, but only came down with 43 catches, only 372 yards. That's pretty bad. No touchdowns. I won't say he's been shut down this year. He's been getting his targets, but man, the quarterbacks just can't get him the ball. I don't watch the Steelers every week, but it's just not great for him. Pat Freiermuth, their tight end, he's solid. He has 32 catches, 367 yards, and a touchdown. We'll see more of George Pickens now, just because they traded wide receiver Chase Claypool to the Bears for a second-round pick. So we expect Pickens to be their number 2 receiver. Deontay Johnson, they'll run, regular I formation, old-school football type sets against the Saints. And I think that fares well, for us. From a defensive standpoint of the ball, I'm expecting a very, very good game, man. If guys on the defensive end were going to miss a game, I'm not going to say, this is the game that they should miss, but I'm actually going to say it. This is the game they should miss. Steelers offense is not very good at all. It's not very good. It's just bad. Their offense is just very, very bad. So Pete Warner's more than likely going to miss this game. Davenport's been limited with a calf injury. Marcus May's been limited. So we'll see. Obviously, I don't think Lattimore's going to play. So if it's a game we can miss, on the defensive side of the ball, and I think we'll be fine. It would be this game against the Steelers offense, man. If you shut down Najee Harris, Deontay Johnson, rookie quarterback, they're probably going to fold. They've been looking bad, for the last couple of weeks, 2 straight L's. So we'll see what our defense can do against their offense. And let's kind of talk about their defense going up against our offense. The best linebacker on their team is Miles Jack. He's leading the team with 72 tackles. Actually, their top 4 guys in tackles are pretty good. Second on the team in tackles is Minkah Fitzpatrick, one of the best safeties in the league. Third, Devin Bush, athletic linebacker, really good. And fourth, Terrell Edmonds, another athletic linebacker, safety hybrid guy. He's pretty good. So their defense is still pretty good, man. It's still the Steelers' defense of old. It's not going to be that, but they still have some good players. Leading them in sacks, you got Alex Highsmith, pretty good off the edge. Cam Hayward, good interior guy, nose tackle / defensive end in that 3-4. He's going to be pretty good. Highsmith, 7 tackles for loss. Cam Hayward, 5 tackles for loss on the year. But it's always that asterisk when they play the Saints, just how we played the Steelers, not the Steelers, just how we played the Ravens. Roquan Smith, first game. it's a possibility that TJ Watt returns. So obviously if TJ Watt returns to the Steelers, that defense becomes a whole different animal, whole different juggernaut, because he's just that good. He can just run offensive game plans by himself. He's one of those guys. Obviously, his brother used to be that guy. Bosa's that guy. Myles Garrett that guy. Cam Jordan kind of used to be that guy. Maybe not in that tier, but we don't have that guy. TJ Watt is that guy. He can ruin your offense just by him being on that field. So we'll definitely be on the lookout for that. And I'll just click through some of these stats right now. They're the 5th worst in yards per game, 5th worst team in the NFL. When it comes to passing yards, they're the 6th worst, only behind, or in front of guys like Tennessee who don't throw the ball, the Bears, Giants, the Texans, the Falcons. So they're not really good throwing the ball. Running the ball, I think they may be even worse in rush yards. Yeah, they're the 4th worst behind Tampa Bay, who's the worst in the NFL, the Rams, and the Chargers. So that plays, in the Saints' favor. In points per game, let's see where they're ranked in points per game here. 1 second to pull this up. They are 2nd worst. They're averaging 15 points per game. 1-5. 2nd worst in the NFL, only in front of the Indianapolis Colts, who are averaging 14.7 points per game. The Saints are averaging 23.6 points per game. So obviously we have an advantage there. Like I said, this offense for the Steelers is bad. It's very, very bad. So it's going to be simple, man. It's a couple keys to victory for the Saints to win this game, come out of Pittsburgh with a W. And first, man, you have to get after Kenny Pickett. He's a rookie quarterback. He's thrown interceptions. He's shown that he will turn the ball over if you put pressure on him. So we have to come out the gate, have to put pressure on him, have to get hits on him, and that's just going to help this team out tremendously going forward. Turnover battle kind of go hand in hand with this. You have to win the turnover battle with the Pittsburgh Steelers. They can't score points. So we should not be giving them points off pick sixes, fumbles, muff punch, whatever you want to say. You have to win the turnover battle. This team is very, very bad. They don't really force that many turnovers. They're going to give you a chance to, get some interceptions, especially with a rookie quarterback out there. So we have to take advantage of these opportunities, and we have to take advantage of Kenny Pickett being a rookie quarterback and just going through the rookie slump that he's going through. Also, take away Deontay Johnson and Najee Harris, and you win this game. They have 2 weapons on offense. Najee Harris been piss poor this year. Do not let them go off against us. They haven't been able to run the ball all year. Do not let that change. Do not let that change. Deontay Johnson, he's been getting the targets, but hasn't really been going off this year. Only 300 plus yards. That's pretty bad for a wide receiver 8 to 9 weeks into the season. So just limit those 2 guys, and the offense can't do anything. I promise you. And lastly, man, you just have to get up early on this team. Get up early, make them play from behind, make them try to throw the ball, get a 7-point lead, a 10-point lead, or something like that. And this victory should be yours. This is a very, very winnable game. If you lose this game to the Steelers, this season is far from over. It's already hanging by, a thread. If you lose to the Steelers, it's just, this team is bad. This is probably the worst team in the NFL, or one of the worst teams in the NFL. They're definitely bottom 5. They're definitely going to get a high draft pick. You cannot lose to this team. I don't even think this team wants to win. That's how bad this team is, in my opinion. I don't even think they want to win. We should not lose to the Steelers. 15 points per game. 15 points per game, man. We're going to have to make every field goal because, honestly, 10 points might win this game for us. That's how bad their offense is. You score 10, you might win. You definitely score 20, you might win. So, score some points. Get in the red zone. We need to get touchdowns in the red zone, man. Get up. Run the ball. Let's leave this healthy. Try to get some guys healthy, for next week, because the schedule doesn't get any easier for the Saints. That's the one thing about this. Our schedule doesn't get any easier, and we need wins. We got the Rams after that, the 49ers after that, the Bucks after that. So that's a 3-game stretch where we're going to need some W's. It's a lot of L's. A lot of L's. We got to respond to that Ravens loss, get a win against the Steelers. Then we got the Rams, who've been struggling. Then we got the 49ers. Then we got the Bucks, and then the Falcons. Those games back to back to back. That's going to be really, really important, because then we got the Browns with Deshaun Watson will be back. Then the Eagles, that'll be week 16. Maybe they'll be resting. Maybe they'll be going for undefeated season. Maybe they have that bye locked up. Who knows what that's going to be. But then you end with the Panthers, who's probably going to be tanking by then. So, man, this is a very, very important game. If we have any shot of, tasting the playoffs, looking at the playoffs, even grazing the playoffs, they have to win this game, because the schedule doesn't get any easier. And the schedule's going to be tough for us regardless, because we suck. Let's just be honest. We suck right now. So, hey, man, coaches, looking at y'all. Players looking at y'all. Somebody has to step up in this game. Somebody that hasn't been playing well this year, I don't care who it is, somebody has to step up this game. Let's put these guys to bed early. Very, very winnable game. We should win this game, but hey, this is the Saints, and I have no idea what team is going to show up week to week, play to play, quarter to quarter. So let me know what y'all think in the comments below about this game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And as always, this is DaBoot Tragedies, and I'm out. Well, I guess if you made it this far, you can watch like the last minute of this video. You can watch that last drive by Kenny Pickett, and you'll see what I'm talking about. He'll give you chances to intercept the ball, turn the ball over. Their offense is pretty bad, so just watch to the end. It's about a minute left, and you'll see what I'm talking about.